Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel where we rank the top 10 Disney movies, which includes Pixar, of course. After 2 horror-related vids, we thought we'd do a little bit more family-friendly list. This is going to be a controversial list, so sit back and enjoy the chaos. Before we jump in, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Your support means more than you know. As mentioned before, I am using this channel as a showcase portfolio. Okay, let's jump in. And at number 10, we have Inside Out 2. I'm aware there are better movies to choose from, but hear me out, Inside Out 2 was the most recent movie I have seen, and how many of us can say that we have related to the characters. And Riley's situation more in the second installment, with the likes of anxiety, which we all have had, and who can forget nostalgia, which many of us are currently relating to. As an adult, the movie itself was pretty solid too, with Riley struggling with her emotions while going through her teenage years.
Riley, is everything okay?
This movie hit too close to home, and it is so relatable. It's going at number 10. Next at number 9, we have The Incredibles. Now, some of you might not even rank this as a top 10 movie, but this movie rarely gets any hate from fans. How cool was it to see an entire family of incredibly gifted individuals with different superpowers battle evil?
Trampoline me!
As a child, we don't usually understand things as well as we do as an adult, and when we see Syndrome is actually Buddy that Mr. Incredible rejects as a child.
My home, buddy. I work alone.
And him creating evil robots as revenge. He wanted to be the center of attention by creating his most evil robot, yet that he can stop himself and come out as the hero. But of course, the robot has a mind of its own and turns on Syndrome and terrorizes the city. I'm not sure about you, but I religiously watched this movie growing up, and it will always be a favorite. Frozone was a complete badass, and his power to freeze was very cool to watch. And let's not forget when he skated on water by freezing it to get away from the robot. This movie was super to watch as a kid, and who can forget the really cool video game that released on PS2 based on this movie? So for that, we're going with number 9.
What are you waiting for?
Next on our list at number 8, we have Monsters, Inc. This movie is based in a world full of monsters who scare children in the human world as their job.
Carefully matching every child to their ideal monster.
Our main guys are Sully and Mike,
Feel the bird! You call yourself a monster?
who find a little girl called Boo, who they must hide from those around them or face the consequences of hiding a human. This is another nostalgic movie to grow up on, and something I really liked about the movie was how we get to have a glimpse of all the different locations behind the doors, which are kind of like portals between the monster and human worlds. It's also quite funny watching Boo no longer being afraid of Randall and beating him up. The ending of the movie, we see Sully take Boo home and say his goodbyes.
Goodbye, Boo.
Kitty.
Which I kind of shed a tear watching. We also see Sully returns to see Boo at a later point, which ends on a cliffhanger. Do you guys want to see another installment? Or should they keep it as a respected movie and leave it at that? Let me know in the comments. Next at number 7, we have Onward. Now guys, I'm aware that this probably isn't on anybody's top 10 list, but the story of Onward follows Barley and Ian Lightfoot, who have lost their father and use magic to bring him back, but only for a day. The magic botches, and they are left with their dad's legs, in which they go on the ultimate quest to finish the spell so they can have one last adventure with their dad and see him one more time. Guys, this movie hit close to home a bit, and if you haven't seen this movie, look away now. But the ending of the movie, we see Ian take on the dragon creature, and he misses the chance to say goodbye to his father in full form. Barley, on the other hand, says goodbye to his father and tells Ian what his dad told him to say to Ian.
Oh, and he told me to give you this.
This movie is enough to make a grown man cry, and for the story alone, this goes at number 7 for being such a quality watch. If you have not seen this movie yet, go on Disney Plus and get watching. At number 6, we have the entertaining thrill that is Coco. When a young Miguel wants to pursue song, it becomes very difficult because his family has a ban on music. When his grandmother breaks his guitar, he breaks into his idol Ernesto's museum and takes his guitar, and once he strums it, he becomes invisible to the living. This movie was quite an adventure from start to finish, and the twist that came when it was revealed that Ernesto was partners with Hector when they were alive, and Ernesto killed Hector and stole his guitar and his songs because he couldn't write his own was an amazing twist. Hector and Miguel agree to help each other as Miguel must get blessed before sunrise, and Hector must get his photo onto the ofrenda so he can visit his daughter Coco before she forgets him. Hector begins fading away as his daughter is forgetting about him, and his photo was gone, so it became harder to save him until Miguel returned home and helped Coco remember him. Therefore, Hector survives, as at the end he is seen with his daughter Coco after she passes away. Hector is also revealed as Miguel's great-great-grandfather and not Ernesto. Due to the beautiful story being told and the dramatic effect it has on our hearts, it's got to go at 6. Moving on to number 5, we have a classic fan favorite that is Toy Story.
What? Toy Story?
After watching this movie as a child, how many of you talked to your toys to see if they were alive?
The toys are alive!
Don't lie to yourself. Toy Story opens up a long story and many different films when Andy owns toys that can speak and move by themselves, but of course little to his knowledge. We meet Buzz Lightyear, who truly believes he is on a different planet, which is comedy at its finest.
You are a toy!
And who can forget Andy's favorite toy, Woody. Woody and Buzz find themselves on an adventure when Woody accidentally knocks Buzz out the window, and his friends toss Woody out. Controversial to say, but as much as we love an original film, it's not my favorite Toy Story film, so let's go with number 5. Next, at number 4, we have Ratatouille, which focuses on a rat named Remy, who loves to cook and is very good at it. But he knows nobody will eat anything made by a rat, so in order to help the chef named Alfredo Linguini, who is actually a garbage boy who accidentally ruins a soup and tries to fix it.
Ruining the soup! And nobody's noticing it!
Linguini realizes after he is sent to kill Remy that he can understand him, so they work together to cook for the restaurant. Remy controls Linguini using his hair. This movie ranks pretty high on the list, because despite the struggles of being a rat, Remy eventually is accepted and he practically runs the restaurant at the end, which is amazing, considering he is just a rodent who was once searching the streets with his family for food. It really shows a lesson on what you can do if you put your mind to it and how anybody can come back from the trenches. The movie was great, just like many things made by Pixar, and it got a 97% score on Rotten Tomatoes, so I don't think I'd be far away putting this in the top 4. Moving on and going off earlier in the list, at number 3, we have Toy Story 3. This may or may not be controversial, but the reason I have gone for Toy Story 3 is because it is my favorite Toy Story of the trilogy.
Toy Story 3?
I say trilogy. Because let's ignore the fact there is a 4th movie. Anyways, I feel like this movie truly had everything. It had a great villain story in Lotso, where his owner abandoned him, making him evil. The gang realizing Andy is too old to play with them anymore.
No one's gonna want those old toys.
Really made us realize that we came full circle, and we too are getting old. As Andy is off to college. Who can forget 2 tear-jerking scenes in the movie when the toys are in the junkyard? Go! And as it seems they are about to accept their fate, those little annoying aliens save the day. I remember blurting out that I love those little guys. Finally, I thought they would end it with the toys revealing themselves to Andy, but of course even that's a stretch. In the most heartbreaking scene of the movie, Andy gives his toys away to Bonnie and drives off, and we see Woody saying,
So long, partner.
honestly, if this movie didn't make you cry, what were you doing in the cinema? Toy Story 3 also got made into a video game, which was quite enjoyable to play growing up. Toy Story 3 is elite in my mind, and for that, it's going at number 3.
Thanks, guys.
I haven't cried like this since Toy Story 3.
At number 2, then we have Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is a classic where Nemo is fishnapped by fishermen. Honestly, by now, everyone has seen Finding Nemo, and personally, I find it criminal to be putting this at number 2. But it was an overall great movie, and bringing in a character like Dory really made the movie more entertaining. Dory even gets her own film, so I'd say she is quite a popular character. Finding Nemo gives us an in-depth look at the bottom of the ocean, which I think is quite unique and different. Do you think Finding Dory is better than Finding Nemo? Let me know in the comments. Finally, if you guys have made it this far, I can't thank you enough. And before we jump into our last one on the list, please do like the video and comment if you agree with this list or what you would change. Finally, at number 1, we have Up. This one I wasn't sure about placing at number 1, but the story is a nice romantic story with some comedy where old man Carl loses his wife through illness before they could use their savings to visit Paradise Falls, so he ties thousands of balloons to his house to get himself there in honor of his wife's wish. Russell is a Boy Scout who stowaways on Carl's house.
Hi, Mr. Fredrickson. It's me, Russell.
And both of them get up to an amazing adventure, which eventually leads them to Paradise Falls. I won't lie, guys. I'm not even confident in this list. There is so many movies to choose from that deserve to be on this list, but it was a hard decision including the order. Okay, guys, that is all for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.